Yo, what's up everybody? Kevin here. Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat back in Whistler, and we'll be on for the next hour to answer all your snowboard questions. So definitely feel free to hit me up with anything that's on your mind, beginner questions, gear questions, trick, progression, anything at all. And yeah, stoked to be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys. Last week we were in Washington State and snowboarding down at Stevens Pass. Had a great time, lots of snow, and yeah, this week back in Whistler. All right, let's see. Let's give a few people some shout outs. Let's see who's on here. Shout out to Al Stacker, one of the OGs. Thanks for tuning in. Jacob Hardy. We got, who else is on here? We got Buttered Up. We got Crouton speaking French, wanting me to speak French. Sorry, man, I can't speak French. Yeah, it'd be awesome to know where everyone is watching from too. That's it's always fun to see where everyone's watching from here. So we got Joe W, Solar Cole, Flying Montana. Awesome guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. All right. And we got the moderators on too. Big shout out to all the moderators. Yeah, definitely if you guys have a question on your mind, hit me up. But yeah, if you ask the question like 200 times, then a moderator might put you on hold or something. So I'm gonna do my best to get to as many questions as I can. Braden Duffley, shout out man, thanks for tuning in. Andrew Coates. We got Turtle Dex on here. Jose Rodriguez. Awesome guys. Moonwalking Matthew wants to know, what can you do if the snow is too sticky? Yeah, if the snow is sticky, make sure you wax your board the night before. And wax comes in different temperatures, so you can get warm weather wax, all temp wax, or like very cold day wax. So check out the wax, check out the temperature, and then buy wax that suits that. This last week in Washington, we definitely had some warmer days, and so we had some like warmer temperature wax, and it really, really helped. Chernin Park wants to know, what's your opinion on the Union Atlas bindings? Yeah, Union Atlas, I rode those for a couple years, and I think they're great for like all mountain bindings, all mountain riding, hard carving, riding through powder. They're a bit of a stiffer binding, so it's like when you're riding through conditions where you're putting a lot of torque and flex on the board, you want bindings that will like hold up and have your back, and the Union bindings are definitely, the Atlas are a pair that will do that. And the ankle strap on the Union Atlas are very comfortable too. So that's a plus. A couple quick things too, guys. If you're watching this and you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, because if you hit the bell, then you'll get notified when I do these live chats or when I upload a video. So yeah, if you guys could do that, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, shout out to Snowboard Films, Louis Henderson, and yeah, Flying Montana. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Tons of people on here. From Snowboard Films is watching from Ohio. We got Alex watching from Arizona, Jose watching from Denver, Claudia from New Zealand, Tyler from Oklahoma. Amazing guys. Yeah, from Louis watching from Scotland, Avery from Colorado. Wow, all over the place. Amazing. Gavin says, need tips on carving. Nice. I would say like the first tip for like learning to carve is to break it down, where you just do like one carve at a time. So look up the hill, make sure nobody's coming, and then just work on doing like one carving turn across the slope, and then stop on the other side, look up, make sure no one's coming, and then do a carving turn across on the other side. That's like a really good way just to learn how to carve, just breaking it down like that one at a time. And yeah, think about using your ankles and really getting your board onto edge, and trying also to keep your weight even across your edge, so that you're riding and when you look behind you, you can see that like clean line in the snow. So it takes a little bit of practice, but when you break it down in one turn at a time like that, it helps. Also, when you start to do them downhill, find some place where the like start on a green run. So green runs, you know, like nice and mellow, those are the perfect places to start to learn to carve. All right, thank you guys for tuning in, for all the likes, up to 59 likes, 170 people watching, and it looks like we've got the first super chat. Awesome, thanks so much. Let's go find it. Just going to scroll ahead a little bit here. We got Bad Riders from Australia. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. And Bad Riders wants to know, do you still use the Karma grip, Kev? No, actually. So since using the GoPro 8, and the GoPro 8 has that built-in stabilization that is just like the next level, it like replaces the Karma grip. So no more need for a gimbal. I think the GoPro 8 has done it. And I was a bit wary. I wasn't sure if the stabilization would be enough, but all the videos I've made this season have all been with the GoPro 8, with no Karma grip, no gimbal, and I feel like they've been turning out pretty well. So, and also being able to ride with the GoPro 8 and just film with that, it's so much easier. It's so much lighter. There's one less thing you have to worry about with electronics or with batteries. So yeah, the GoPro 8 is a Karma grip killer for sure. Yeah, great question there, Adam. All right, and Effective Edge as a $5 super chat from New Zealand. Thanks so much for the support. Have you seen the Orca 2021? It's less ugly than the 2020, but not as beautiful as the 2019. What's your favorite top sheet? Wow. Okay. Good question. So no, I haven't seen it. I'll have to go check it out. But it's and just let you guys know, that's Chris just walking by in the background. What's up, Chris?
Hey, let's go.
Yeah. All right, Chris is getting ready to head out somewhere. But yeah, so with the top sheets, I would say, so the Orca, between, they're both cool. The last year's one, the blue one was really nice. This year, black and white. I guess it's not as thrilling, but yeah, maybe the blue one. I think the blue one was probably the nicest one. But I'll have to take a look at the 2021. But I do like the black and white one too. It's pretty cool. It's like very neutral color. It's worked well with me because I got that yellow Big Bird suit this year. So having a more just black and white board kind of balances things out a little bit. But yeah, Effective Edge, thank you for the support. We got Gavin watching from New Jersey, Sal from Wisconsin. Lucas Silva asks, what board for all mountain is good in the park and okay in the powder? Yeah, that's a good question. So there are definitely boards like that. Some boards that are kind of, a bit good at everything. So yeah, decent in the park, and you can take it in the powder. Something like the Burton Deep Thinker. So that's a board that's it's more of a twin shape, but it does have some directional rocker to it, not like a massive taper. Also the Free Thinker, so another one like that. A lot of that style of board is very good. So it's just got like a mild taper. It's a little bit directional, but you can still, take it into the park because it's still twit enough for riding switch. So yeah, definitely there's a few boards out there like that. All right, thanks everyone. We got Jonathan watching from Michigan, Shiloh from Ottawa, Tech from Singapore, Braden says you need to go to Mount Baker. Yeah, absolutely. Had a great time in Washington. Huge shout out to everyone that we met in Washington State last week. Honestly, like everyone was like super friendly, over the top, like met so many awesome people. It was one of the best trips. Like it was short and sweet, but it was so amazing because of all the people. So shout out to everyone that we got to meet down in Washington. And we'll definitely we'll be back in Washington again. All right. Tons of great questions, guys. Just getting through here. Cody Kimber with a super chat from Australia says, I need custom footbeds from Joey. Do you like yours? Actually, so yeah, Joey, he made me custom footbeds. I guess it was a year and a half ago now. Big shout out to Joey down in Australia there. I think he's living and working in Japan at the moment. But yeah, I had them for a while and they were great. But then I changed boots and I actually got like boots that are a little bit different size. So they don't, I feel like I need to get them altered a bit. But yeah, if you've got some foot pain, I would say, yeah, check out some custom footbeds. They can definitely help you out. For sure. Yeah, there's the custom footbeds. There's the one that you guys can just buy in the store. Also, like, yeah, make sure when you're trying on boots for the first time, you got your feet in the boots for like a half an hour, making sure they're nice and comfortable. No weird pressure points. I actually just got a new pair of boots as well, the Adidas Samba, which I made a video. My next video that'll go up will be the Vans Infuse versus the Adidas Samba and kind of like why I switched boots. So yeah, lots of boot pain can be an issue, but hopefully we can get it sorted as much as possible. We got West Coast Dabs watching from Kamloops, British Columbia. Sila's dad wants to know if I'm still in Washington. No, back up in Whistler, BC, Canada. So yeah, back home. I'm actually moving tomorrow. I don't know if any of you guys have been through a move, but it's been a very busy week packing and getting ready to move. So yeah, moving up tomorrow. I'm crashing with Chris tonight. So that's right now we're at Chris's family's house. That's why we got such a cool background going on. I pack Ox wants to know, any tips for first rails? Yeah, your first time going for a rail, make sure that you've got lots of box tricks down, maybe hit some down boxes and some more difficult boxes. And then when you go for your first rail, find the easiest one you can. And I always tell people, like, plan when you go for your first rail to actually kind of like skip over it. So you ollie and you clear it, so you come off the other side, just so that you know kind of like the feeling of the approach and coming off, because it's kind of hard to commit for the first time to the rail. So kind of come on it, get a nice little ollie, and plan on just clearing the rail a little bit. And then next time you go for the rail, try to land on it a little bit more. And you just keep doing that until you really just feel comfortable kind of like ollieing and getting up onto the rail. But yeah, and if you can too, find like a very easy ride on rail and just do a 50-50. And yeah, if the first few times you come off the side, that's perfect, because you just kind of work your way up to riding it the whole way. And Sal wants to know, how do you gain confidence to do a backflip? I think confidence for the backflip will definitely come from doing lots on a trampoline ahead of time. So if you can, go to like a trampoline place near where you live, work on your flips. And then when it comes time to do them on your snowboard, find like a soft snow slushy day and find a really like easy feature. It doesn't even have to be in the park. It can be outside the park, maybe into powder, or if it's slushy snow, like just a park jump that's built well that you feel comfortable on. But definitely I would say getting them outside the park first on like trampolines and stuff is a great way to build up to it. And Justin with the super chat, Justin McHelney, thanks so much for the support, says, Boardslide tips always end up on my butt. Sorry to hear that, man. That's like the most common thing for board slides is like, yeah, sliding out and landing on your tuchus there. I would say the biggest thing to avoid that is to take your front hand. So for me, I'm goofy, so going right foot first. I would take my front hand, my right hand, and like reach down towards the box, and that'll actually help to get your weight more forward. So yeah, reaching a little bit. Also, don't fully commit to going sideways straight away. Try going on straight 50-50 and then just like shifting your board a little bit to get used to shifting it completely flat and not being heel heavy. So go on 50-50, shifty it sideways, a little bit to start, and then just do a little bit more each time until you're comfortable coming on and going completely sideways. And to avoid sliding out on your heels, just reach that front hand forward towards the box a little bit. It'll definitely help you out. All right. Soul 2 says, I know you guys did a video on the Burton step-ons, but would you use them for the type of snow you guys had in Japan? I'm kind of tempted to get the Burton step-ons out again. I don't own a pair, but I would definitely like demo a pair and try them out. I know they're very popular, so I did use them a few years ago, and I feel like I can see like a purpose for them. They're very convenient, but I haven't used them in a couple years. I feel like the one concern I would have with like really deep powder snow is that, you know, you're clicking your foot into the binding, and if it got all filled in with powder snow, that could be an issue. You have to clear out all the snow so that you can make sure it clicks in properly. So that could be the one issue, is that it filling in with powder and having it be difficult to get that step on to click into the binding. But I think the best way is to test it out. So maybe at some point I'll get some demos for the Burton step-ons and yeah, try them out. All right. Enrique wants to know, what settings do you use on your GoPro 8? So normally when I'm filming other people, I set it to 120 frames per second. That way I can slow things down and do some slow-mo shots if I need to. Also 1080. So I film it in 1080 because I feel like once I start going above that 2.7 or 4K, then that makes it harder for my computer to process it. Also, it makes larger files, so more video to store. So yeah, 1080, 120 frames per second. And I film, so when I'm filming other people, it's in linear mode. So that kind of brings it in more narrow and gives it, I think, a more realistic look. If I'm filming myself, I'll do 60 frames per second, 1080, and super view, because in super view, it's like the widest it can, and hopefully, you know, when you're filming yourself, you can get from your head to all the way down to your board all in the frame. All right, Tyler Todd with the super chat. Appreciate the support, man. Thanks for being a sponsor of the channel, Tyler. He says, I got Premiere Pro because of your suggestion. I love it. Do you use auto feature for color grading, or do you have settings you manually enter? Yeah, so I do have some manual settings. Like I create a preset. I can't remember what it's called at the moment though. I think it's called Luminous. I think it's like the Luminous setting. Lumetri. Thanks, Chris. So yeah, in the settings, if you look up Lumetri, and then you can kind of like fiddle with that a little bit. It's got like, you can add contrast or like shadows and highlights or saturation, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I kind of create a preset with Lumetri. So check that out in Premiere Pro. And yeah, once you have your preset created, then you can just like select all the clips that you want and then drag that on. I think I increased the the whiteness a bit in it too, because sometimes the snow can kind of look a bit gray or brown. So adding a little bit of I can't remember what it's called exactly, but something to do with white makes the snow look a bit more white. And even the exposure, you can increase that slightly to make everything a bit brighter. So play around with it, get the settings that you like, and then just add it on like that. Snowboarder's Handbook says, I'm starting a channel now. Tips for getting off the ground. Nice. So with YouTube videos, with becoming a YouTuber, I feel like it's all about practice. So just making the videos that you enjoy, make the videos that you like, and trying to do it as much as possible. At the start, I would say, you know, don't try to make videos that are too complicated. Just start out more simple. Find the topics that you're interested in, talk about them, create some video, get in front of the camera. It's all about practicing all these skills. So practicing being in front of the camera, practicing thinking of topics that you want to actually talk about, and also like practicing the video editing side, because at first your videos, you know, they're going to be really basic because you're just learning. So yeah, just you'll get better just by doing it. And so maybe set a goal of having a couple of videos go up a week. And you know, if one week you miss it, that's okay. Like just come back the next week. And yeah, as you go from there, you'll find that you can, you know, the video creating process will become quicker. The video editing process will be quicker. You'll find more interesting things to talk about, and before you know it, you'll be uploading like 4 or 5 videos a week. And if you enjoy it, it doesn't really matter like sort of the outcome, as long as you're enjoying it, and then hopefully other people will enjoy your videos too. So I would say that even for me, like I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and I'm still just feel like I'm just practicing. I'm just learning how to do it still, learning how to create videos and learning new ways. Yeah, even, and talk to other YouTubers as well. Ask them questions like you just did. And I feel like people are usually happy to give advice. So yeah, have fun with it, practice, and I'm sure it'll grow. All right. Chris Ayers is on the live chat, and he's in the background. All right, Wayne with the super chat from Canada. Thanks for the support, Wayne, for being a sponsor, man. He says, I thought that was Mr. Comore that walked by, LOL. No, Mr. Comore actually lives down the road. So yeah, Andreas, he lives maybe a 10-minute walk from here down the street. So, and TJ is also with Mr. Comore, with Andreas down the road. Shout out to those guys, Board Archive and Andreas Schubert down there. And yeah, Chris lives up here, and I'm actually moving into the neighborhood too. So this is like Alpine in Whistler is becoming the YouTuber neighborhood. So we're all in the same hood together. So this is going to be pretty cool. But Wayne, really appreciate the support, man. And yeah, go visit Mr. Comore down in Comore. Go find Andreas. Louis wants to know, any tips for turning in deep powder? Yeah, so the 3 things I would say are the most important for deep powder. The first one is, you know, getting onto that back leg a little bit. So having a powder board helps, but you still need to be on the back leg a bit, just so that you keep the nose up out of the snow. That definitely helps you to, yeah, allows you to do those turns and not go forward. The second one would be ride with speed. So having some speed through powder really helps. When you're going slow, it's much harder to kind of maneuver, but with a bit of speed, you can more glide across the top of the snow and not get dragged into it. And then the third thing would be like plan your line. So like look ahead, see where the steep parts of the powder are, where you can kind of maybe go a little bit slower, but then look ahead and see where the flat sections are, because anywhere that's flat and powdery, you definitely want to have speed to get across that and not get stuck. So yeah, use those 3 things, bit on the back foot, ride with speed, and plan your line, and yeah, you should be good. And while you're turning through powder too, like think about turning with your whole body. So when you go to make that toe turn, don't just use your knees, like use your hips, your shoulders, everything, put everything into the turn. That can really help too. All right, great questions, guys. Matt says, Chris, take your dog for a walk. He's been walking Dot like all day long. Yeah, Dot's getting tons of walks over here. Simon Deli, tips for practicing learning to ride switch. Yeah, switch riding is so valuable. Allows you to do 180s, allows you to do all kinds of different tricks, to do a board slide, to come out switch, and all the switch tricks you can learn. And by learning switch, it actually, I think, improves your balance so that you can ride, just improves your all-around snowboarding. But for riding switch, a few tips would be take it back to like a really easy run, someplace easy where, you know, you can have that confidence to have that new front foot go first down the hill. And just know too that you already have the skills for stopping on your heels, for stopping on your toes. So the heels and toes are easy. The only new thing you're adding in is allowing that new front foot to go down the hill straight and flat for a second. So that's the new thing. And I would say don't try to rush it. I feel like when you're first getting back in, learning switch, sometimes you rush the turns, you try to do them too quickly. If you're on a green area where you have lots of space and you can just let your board go straight and flat for a second down the hill, then that makes learning to ride switch so much easier. So yeah, take your time, go someplace easy, and just let that new front foot go down the hill first. All right, yeah, a few quick shout outs. Board Through the Pain, Sal DePula, Spencer Smith, thank you guys all for tuning in. Tyler Myers, and 156 people in the chat, 96 likes. Really appreciate it, guys. Todd Williams, spring mitt recommendations. I would say try to go as light as possible. Try to get something that is fairly waterproof. For me in the past, some of my favorite spring mitts have been the Neff Ripper mitt. I'm not sure if they still make those, but Neff, I remember had some really good spring mitts in the past. Last year, I believe I had a pair of analog mitts, the Analog Gentry mitt, which is a little bit, it was a little bit heavier, but it was still spring enough. And this year I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to look for some new spring mitts. At the moment, I've got some Volcom Gore-Tex mitts that are great. I've also got some Crab Grab punch mitt, which I really like as well. But they're a bit too heavy, I would say, for the spring. Like I'll probably ride them for some of the spring, but at some point I'll have to get really, really thin mitt. All right, big shout out to all the moderators. Shout out to everyone on here, over 100 likes. Awesome, thanks so much, guys. So Parg on Code with the super chat says, love the channel, man. Started snowboarding because of you. Still starting out. Any tips for heel edge? Feel pretty comfy on my toe edge. Nice. Well, really appreciate you checking out the channel. I'm glad you're getting into it and you're progressing. You got an interesting problem because normally people find the toe edge more difficult. So I'm stoked that you've got the toe edge down and you're feeling comfy. For the heel edge, I guess one issue can be your high back. So the high back on your binding, sometimes if it's too much straight up and down, it can actually cause you to lean back too far. So try adjusting your high back forward. So if it starts out at a 0, usually it goes between 0 and 6. So maybe try setting your high back to like a 4. That could make your heel edge easier. And then as you're on your heels, think about like you're sitting in a chair. So your knees are bent, your butt's kind of out a little bit, almost like you're sitting down, and your back is fairly straight. So having all those things in place should help you to glide fairly smoothly. And then when you want to go from like left to right, think about like looking. If you want to go to the left, for example, look and point down to the left, and hopefully that'll get your board moving to the left. And then to switch directions, look and point down to the right, and do that back and forth as you're in that seated chair position with your high backs forward, and that should really help. But once you get that heel edge and you got the toe edge, then you can start trying to link your first turns. But give that a try. Thanks so much for the support. Glad you're getting into snowboarding. And I'm sure you'll just keep progressing and you'll be turning in no time. Keep us updated on your progression. All right. Yeah, great question. All right. Walker Hayes says they're watching from Texas. Awesome. We got a Walker Texas Ranger on here. Shout out. We got Austin on here, Emmanuel Gonzalez. Emmanuel says, hey Kevin, would you prefer the Skate Tech technology or the Burton Step-On feature? Currently looking for a setup for my 2020 Orca Deep Powder. Nice. Well, Well, I have the Now bindings with the Skate Tech, so I would recommend those. Yeah, Now Drive. I feel like performance-wise, if performance is more of your concern, I would go for definitely the Now Drive bindings, the Skate Tech, all that. Those bindings are great. I think on the Orca, they're stiff enough to riding at high speeds and riding through powder and carving and all that. But if the convenience of being able to strap in quickly, like if you're at a resort where you're doing like 100 laps a day and you want to just be able to step on quickly, then you may want to consider the Burton step-ons. But for me, it's definitely, yeah, the Orca with the Now Drive bindings. And yeah, pair it with a pair of boots that you're comfortable with. Maybe try out some Vans boots, some Adidas. Put your feet in boots and make sure they're comfortable. Yeah, I tried on the Adidas Sambas recently. Had my feet in there for about a half an hour, and they were comfortable. And so far, they've been a really comfortable boot for me. Tyler Myers with the super chat says, he says, you from Big Boulder Park in Pennsylvania. Awesome, Tyler. Thanks so much for the support, dude. Appreciate it. Cookies says, K2 After Black or LibTech box knife for park. I haven't had the chance to ride the K2 After Black, but I have ridden the LibTech box knife for park, and I really like the box knife. So yeah, the box knife is a board that I've actually considered buying for park. Instead, I did get the GNU headspace, but yeah, I really like the box knife. It's got the magnet traction, so holds an edge really well on ice. The box knife has LibTech C3 camber profile, so it's a bit more camber dominant, a little bit more. It's still a soft board, but it's stiffer than some of the other LibTech park boards. And yeah, it's twin. Really like the LibTech, yeah, box knife. I'd go with that. All right. Hey, Marcus says, hey, Kevin, any tips for flat ground 180s? Yeah, before you try a butter 180 like that, just get used to doing the 180s twisting style. So you can do a 180 by like really rotating into it, or you can go off sort of like a side jump and work on just like twisting your board under your feet. So practice that ahead of time outside the park. Or in the park too, you can. And then also work on your tail and nose presses separately. So break everything down separate, the 180 twisting, a tail press, a nose press, work on each of those parts individually, and then put them all together for the butter 180. And I think if you're comfortable with each of those separately, then they'll definitely come together for the flat ground 180 tricks. Good question. Great question, guys. We got NGen on here with the 5 euros. Appreciate. Thanks for the support, man. Says hashtag shout out to Snowboard Panda, a new YouTuber with great snowboard content. Awesome. Cool shout out. All right, NGen. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check out Snowboard Panda. Oh, Snowboard Panda is our friend on here too. Okay. I got to go watch your channel. Yeah, Snowboard Panda. Everyone check out Snowboard Panda. Sweet. So let's, yeah, if you guys are tuning in late, yeah, here in Whistler, BC, Canada, gonna be on here for the next half an hour or so to answer all your questions. And yeah, appreciate everyone that's already been on here. We have 165 people watching, 118 likes, and yeah, appreciate it, guys. And Kier 1984 says, how do you recover in time for next day's riding? Any tips for noobs? Awesome. Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's tough because sometimes your legs just tell you that you need to take a day off, but you can do some things like the night after riding, so you can get like a foam roller and roll out your legs. You can get a massage ball and kind of like massage out any sore areas like muscles or knots. So yeah, foam roller, massage ball. Try to eat like good food after riding. I always try to eat like as clean as possible and like drink lots of fluids. Things like things like alcohol will probably make you not want to snowboard the next day, makes you kind of groggy and not feeling the greatest. But yeah, some stretching, some light stretching, definitely at night too. And yeah, I feel like the days where I recover the best is, after a long day of riding, I get some food, do some stretching, maybe roll some things out, and get a good early night's sleep. And all those things together kind of like get me ready for the next day. So yeah, give those things a try. And yeah, I feel like everyone has kind of their own routine too of different ways of doing it. So yeah, it's a good way to get into it. Hawk wants to know, hey, what size is your Orca? My Orca is a 159. Last year I had the 153. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the board Orca review I did. But the 59 I feel like is better for like riding at high speeds, landing drops. But if you want, so depending on your size, how much you weigh, you may want to get a larger Orca for like riding fast. But if you're more into like quick turns through the trees, maybe more surfy turns and less like drops, you could get a smaller Orca too, but I went for the 159. And I'm about 182 pounds, around there. Alex Davis with the super chat, thanks man for the support, says, where did you hike at Stevens? That run looked awesome, or that run looked great. I was up there Friday and Sunday. Oh man, sorry we missed you. Yeah, so where we hiked from, I don't know the name of the hike, but it is, oh man, I can't remember the name of the chairlifts, but there's like a designated hike zone where you ride up and there's like a big board that says like out of bounds area and gives you like the avalanche risk and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we hiked up to. It was like a groomed hike. But to be honest, there's a lot of hazards up there. There's a lot of cliffs. There's a lot of areas that we weren't sure about. And so we always tried to take like the most conservative route, places where that we actually spotted pretty much everything we did from the chair or from a vantage point ahead of time so that we knew how to get out. But the hiking in Stevens Pass was surprisingly hazardous in terms of hidden cliffs and drops. So yeah, if you do go up there, be cautious. Maybe like try to get some knowledge beforehand. Take an avalanche course. Definitely bring all your avalanche safety gear, your beacon shovel probe, and ride with somebody maybe too that has some knowledge. So yeah, it's Stevens Pass surprised me at how advanced and expert some of the terrain is. So there was definitely some of the steepest trees, steepest chutes I've done in quite a while. So yeah, big shout out to Stevens Pass. It's an awesome place. Yeah, and super busy on the weekends. I'm surprised at how many people drive in from Seattle. It's pretty cool. Austin Westbrook with the super chat as well says, too bad you couldn't catch Kings and Queens of Corbettes this year. It was epic. Nice. Yeah, so last year we were in Jackson Hole when they had that going on. And this year we couldn't make it, but yeah, Jackson Hole is a really cool place. Austin, man, I hope you're enjoying your season. I'm just trying to get there we go, focus back in. Yeah, Jackson Hole is cool. The Corbettes Couloir is such a crazy shoot there. It's such a massive drop in, but I'll have to go back and watch some of the highlights on YouTube because yeah, it's such a cool contest. But yeah, we need to get back down to Jackson Hole. It was such a fun trip, such a fun place, and yeah, so much cool terrain down in Jackson Hole. All right, so Marcus Andrew with the super chat says, any tips for flat ground 180 360s? Yeah, so just the same thing, like breaking it all up into different pieces, getting your nose and tail presses down, getting some of those like twisting 180s down. And for the 360s, like a butter 360, I feel like it's all about the commitment. So the first few times you may just get around 180 or 270, but you start to feel like how much you just need to kind of commit that little bit extra to get the 360 round. And also like be aware of your edges. So like as you commit to that 360, make sure that you are, really committing, but keeping the right edge uphill because you don't want to catch an edge as you do it. So just being aware of your edges and just practice. Start with the 180, try to do it, build it up to 270, and then just keep going. All right. Just gonna adjust this a little bit here. Oh, here we go. Cool. And we got Garrett Cook watching from New York. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks everyone for the likes, everyone for the super chats, everyone for tuning in. Okay, so Move Explorer says, I noticed you don't use the Oakley High Pink anymore. Did you find something better? I didn't find something better, but I do like the Anon. So I'm riding the Anon M4s at the moment, and they have like a sonar pink lens, which does work pretty well in low light conditions. It's not better than the Oakley High Pink. I think the Oakley High Pink is probably the best lens out there for low light conditions. But I do like the Anon M4, like the size of them are really nice. The peripheral is really cool. So you do get a really good perspective with the Anon M4s. And on a sunny day, the sunny day lens is really nice. But I think the Oakley High Pink lens is still probably the best low light lens, best one that I've tried at least. Snowboard Panda is on here. What's up, Snowboard Panda? Panda with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much. Says, just played ping pong for like a week. Nice. Leveling up. All right. Well, we'll see. So I'll see you back at High Cascade hopefully this summer, and we'll have a ping pong rematch. But yeah, everyone check out Snowboard Panda's channel, and maybe we'll get that ping pong match on in the video. We'll see who wins. I haven't played yet, just to let you know too. I haven't played since last time. Todd Williams says best board for icy groomers, East Coast. I would check out something that has magnet traction. So magnet traction is it's like the edge of your board is more like a bread knife. It's more serrated. I think that holds really well on ice. If I was on the East Coast, I would definitely have a board with magnet traction. So that's what I'd recommend. There's lots of those Mervin boards out there. So LibTech boards have it. GNU boards have it. A lot of the Jones snowboards. So yeah, check some of those out and find the one that's good for your style of riding. But yeah, I think the magnet traction probably holds best on ice. And Jonathan wants to know, have you thought about doing a trip to some of the resorts here in Utah? Yeah, I've actually been keeping an eye on the snow in Utah. It would be really cool to get down there because I haven't been to Utah yet. But yeah, it's a possibility. A snowboard trip to Utah is a possibility. So we'll see if it happens. I'm just going to keep an eye on the snow. If the snow's good, we'll definitely go. I know Casey Willax's buddy has a place there, I believe. Shout out to Daily Wear and Casey Willax. Shout out to those guys. And yeah, it'd be cool to possibly link up with those guys in Utah. Chris, you heading out, man?
Soon, I just gotta feed my dog.
Nice.
How's it going, everybody? Hope y'all doing well. Hey, let's get out. Just getting my dog food.
Ah, dog food. Nice. Adam wants to know, what's the best action cam for snowboarding? In my opinion, it's definitely the GoPro 8 for sure. Check out the GoPro 8. All right. Bad Riders with another super chat from Australia says, Falls, September, Kev, got some step-ons for you. Sweet, thanks, Adam. Yeah, we'll definitely start looking at Falls Creek for September. Yeah, we'll get step on Orca pod going. That'd be cool. Thanks so much for the support, Adam. Appreciate it, man. All right, Morgan W, what's up, Morgan? Says, hey Kev, will you be doing another trip to Oz? If so, will you try the 2 new resorts on the Epic Pass? Yeah, possibly. I haven't been paying attention to which are the new ones on the Epic Pass. So now that there's a few new ones, yeah, we'll definitely have to hit those up. Yeah, we've done Perisher quite a lot the last couple of years, so maybe it could be time to switch it up down in Australia. L Stacker wants to know, Kevin, what is the most videos you've uploaded in a row? That's a good question. I'd have to go back, but I feel like I'm sort of more consistent now than I've been. The last maybe 3 years have been more consistent. So I don't know how many in a row, but maybe I would say there's maybe a week stretch of videos, maybe 7 days. But El Stacker, I know that you've got like a real, I've been noticing that you've been uploading a ton, so you're on a streak, man. That's awesome. Victor says, hey Kevin, have you ever tried a Rossignol board? If so, what are your thoughts? If not, do you have plans to? I've never tried a Rossignol snowboard. I'm not even sure if you can buy Rossignol snowboards in Whistler. That may be why I haven't tried them. But yeah, would love to try a few out. We'll have to take a look. Agent Frost says you should make a trip to Big Sky, Montana. Yeah, we've heard some great things about Montana. We have a friend in Montana as well. So yeah, we'll have to try to get down there at some point. Jonathan Toronto with the super chat. Awesome name too, man. Says, have you thought about doing a trip to visit some of the Utah resorts? I'd love to see you ride the snow out there. Yeah, Utah, I know that there's some really cool terrain over in Utah. We have our buddies Casey Willax and Daily Ware who may be riding in Utah. So I'm gonna keep an eye on the snow, see what those guys are up to. But yeah, Utah trip would be really cool. But I think it's kind of weather snow dependent, really. So if Utah is getting some good snow, we'll definitely book a trip. But yeah, Jonathan, thanks for the support, man. Yeah, what do you think? Is Utah? How does Utah rank amongst the North American resorts? George Marshall says, are you and TJ still planning to shred Bear Mountain? Yeah, that's the plan, to get down to Bear, to ride down a Bear Mountain. Haven't been able to, I've never been to Bear Mountain. It's, I guess it's one of the most popular terrain parks around. And yeah, it'd be cool to get down there and check out that terrain park, because there's been a lot of really cool snowboard videos come out of Bear Mountain. They do the Sunday in the Park series out of Bear Mountain, which is always cool to see. And yeah, it's close to LA. It's always fun to visit LA. So lots of reasons to go down to Bear. All right. Lazy Six says, Kevin, I'm a beginner intermediate rider. I was able to demo an Assassin and loved it. However, they did have the Pro. Which snowboard should I get, Assassin or Assassin Pro? Man, I don't know. I guess it's up to you. I would go with the one that you demoed. If you demoed it and you liked it, I would go with the one that you demoed, because the Assassin Pro, I haven't ridden either of those boards, but you know, maybe they've done something to the Pro pro model that you won't like. It could be stiffer. Usually when they have like a second board, like Assassin Pro, or the, what else is there out there? But yeah, sometimes when they do a second board, it's usually like a stiffer version. So if you demoed the Assassin, and you liked it, I would go with that one. Enzo says, tips on how to get over the fear of 180s or 360s. I think that getting over the fear of those tricks comes with maybe riding more switch. So get more comfortable with your switch riding. Then when you go for the 180s, you'll have more confidence for the landings. So, excuse me guys. Yeah, definitely, I would say try to ride more switch. Also, if you're doing them off jumps, maybe take them out of the park for a while and get them off of like side hits, and like get more creative with your 180s and 360s. And sometimes doing them in smaller places kind of will help you to then build them up to going off of some jumps. So yeah, try them in different places, work on that switch riding. And yeah, don't try to go too big too early. You know, keep them mellow at the start until you have the confidence. All right. Alex with the super chat says, for making riding at Whistler look easy. Awesome channel, man. Oh, appreciate it, Alex. Alec Estrada. Yeah, thanks so much for the support, dude. And yeah, Whistler riding is variable. You know, Whistler has all kinds of terrain, from like very beginner, intermediate zones to like the most advanced and expert. So always trying to, not trying to make it look easy, but just make it look, I guess, I don't know, fun. But yeah, Whistler terrain Whistler's a really cool mountain because there's so much to explore. So, but yeah, thanks for the support, man. The Christo 413 says, what do you use for editing? So I got the Adobe Premiere Pro. Been using that for a few years. All right, Stockholm says, hi Kevin, I have a hard time to get off the chairlift. Do you have any tips for me about this? I try to stand up, but every time I want to stand up, I lose my balance immediately. Thanks. Yeah, so I do have a couple of videos on how to get off the chairlift, so maybe check those out as well. But what you want to do is go to an area that is, you know, pretty flat, that has a bit of a hill, and practice walking up the hill with one foot and then riding down with one foot. So practice that 1 foot, like kind of riding over and over and over again until you get the hang of it. And it doesn't have to be a long run. It can only be, you know, you take maybe like 7 or 8 steps up a hill, and you put your foot on your board with one, like do your 1 foot riding, ride down to where the run flattens out, and then practice dragging your toe in the snow to stop yourself, or dragging your heel in the toe to stop yourself. So basically like doing the same thing as getting off the chairlift, but in a place where you're more in control. So yeah, find that spot, practice your 1-footed riding as much as you can until you feel comfortable. And then when you do go to do it on a chairlift, yeah, find an easy chairlift to do it on. And hopefully all that practice that you put in on the, just on the snow will transfer onto getting off the chairlift. But I think that's the key, just practicing as much as you can on a easy slope, or just somewhere where there's a bit of a slope that flattens out, that you can do lots of 1-foot practice. All right. Horatio with the $5 super chat, thanks for the support, says, hey Kevin, for a free ride setup, would you suggest Union Falcor or Now Drive? I like double POS setup, and Falcor doesn't allow much high back rotation. Interesting. I've been a big fan of the Now Drives, so I feel like they're like a great free ride setup. I haven't tried the Union Falcors, but my impression is that they are I think, stiffer and more money. So I don't know. I can't really recommend the Falcors just because I haven't ridden them, but I'm really happy with my Now drives. So I would say, yeah, give the Now drives a try. I think for free riding, they can definitely do a variety of riding styles. So yeah, check out the Now drive. Board Through the Pain has a good sort of like post snowboard tip too. A hot tub helps, yeah, for sure. A hot tub or a massage for sure. But yeah, hot tubs, I feel like when you're in a resort town, a lot of places come with a hot tub, so that can help you afterwards too. Sometimes it can help too much and it like puts you straight to sleep. Jason with the super chat, thanks for the support. Jason says, any tips for trying first board slide? I can't commit whenever I go for it and always do laps in the park, only doing 50-50s. Love the channel, has helped a lot this year. Awesome, thank you, Jason. I would say the easiest way to do it is to go on 50-50 and then just start to like slide your board sideways. So do the shifty motion and start to get your board going sideways a little bit on the box. So one place you can practice this is just go on the slope and practice riding with your board straight like you're gonna do a 50-50, and then twist your board sideways, so working on that shifty motion. And when you do the shifty, it's like your upper body and your lower body are twisting in the opposite directions so that you can get a full twist and then you can come out and ride like your regular way. So work on that as much as possible. Work on it on the snow. Just work on that shifting motion, getting your board sideways. When you're doing it on the snow, you're gonna be a little bit on your heels. So remember that when you go to do it on the box, you're trying to keep your board as flat as possible. So ride on the box straight and just do the shifty. And that's at the start, just shifty it a little bit. So you just start to get your board a little bit sideways. And then each time you do it, you can just try to go more and more sideways until at one point you just have the confidence to hop on straight into a board slide. But yeah, practice it on the snow. Practice just doing a small shifty to start, and you'll just get your board more and more sideways. But Jason, I hope that helps, man. Thanks so much for checking out the videos. Good luck with the board slide. And Justin McKelney with the super chat says, March 11th to 15th, we'll be at Jay Peak, Vermont. Room for 4 people. You and the boys want a free place to crash and review the mountain. Awesome, Justin. Yeah, thank you for the invitation, man. March 11th to 15th. Okay, let me just check that out on my schedule. But yeah, it's possible. Vermont's a long way. It's like a 5-hour flight. But yeah, really appreciate the room offer. I'll talk to TJ. I'll see what he's saying, and yeah, maybe we'll make it out there, man. But Jay Peak, Vermont. I hope you guys are having a great season. We'll check out the whole base and we'll see what's happening. But yeah, I really appreciate the offer, dude. That's awesome. All right. Jack Ripper with a really good question here. Tips for not sending it into the flats on hips. Great question, Jack. This is like a really common problem. So on a hip jump, it's kind of a tricky thing because it's almost like a wedge. So if you picture the jump almost turns into a wedge where you're going off of the top of the wedge, and then you have this like big, I guess, landing behind it that is lined up with the wedge, almost like a piece of, like a slice of cheese or something, not a slice, a wedge of cheese. And what you want to do is, yeah, you don't want to be shooting off the side because you end up landing on the flat. So with those hips, you want to go off at like right at the top, and you want to try to land at the top as well. So by landing, going off the top and landing at the top, then you're going to be landing on the steepest part of the landing. So that's, even if you're a beginner, that's the best place to do it, is going off of the top, even if you only get 1 foot of air, at least you're landing at the steepest section at the top of the hip. If you start going off too soon and you come off early, that's when you can land flat. So when I used to take students through the park and we do the hip, I would always tell them you got to go off the top and land at the top. So if you can do that, then you'll have hips no problem, and you'll be landing on the steepest and best part. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. 160 people on the chat, 144 likes. Thanks everyone for doing a super chat. We got NGen with another super chat. It says hashtag #GetDotaBone from DWCP crew. Awesome. Thanks, NGen. I'll pass that on to Chris. Oh, wow. Tons of questions, guys. Snowboarder's Handbook with a super chat says, love the life you're living, man. Inspirational. Awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah. Just trying to share with you guys, I love snowboarding. So this is, so natural for me. It's so easy. And, appreciate you guys checking out the videos, but yeah, let's all support each other. It's like an awesome snowboard community. When I go and travel, I really appreciate everyone that, comes and says hello. Everyone that, when we were in Washington, we had lots of people showing us around. So I feel like all of the support comes full circle. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Thanks so much for the support, man. And Stockholm Syndrome Mitt with a thank you sticker of like a plum bowing. But yeah, thanks so much for the support. Thanks for the sticker. Appreciate it. And Jammin' Fresh says, what's up? Are you going to be coming down to Oregon anytime soon? No plans to come down to Oregon right now, but I'm sure we'll be down there some point this year. I know Mount Hood, Timberline has got the spring park coming up. Mount Bachelor is one of my favorite spots as well. But yeah, no plans to come down to Oregon, but would be really fun to get down there. And Solar Cole says, how should I pack for a snowboard trip? Pack as light as you can. What I usually do is I'll bring all my snowboard basics, and then I might bring, depending, a lot of places, if you get an Airbnb, most of the places will actually come with like a washer dryer. So clothing wise, I try to pack as light as possible, like just one of each thing, like hoodie, pants, like shirts, maybe a few shirts, and like stuff like that. But packing as light as possible and not bringing anything extra, because when you're traveling, if you're getting on flights, carrying all your snowboard gear, putting it onto the conveyor belt, all that kind of stuff, moving it from bus to bus can be a lot of work. So pack as light as possible. Make sure you have everything you need, but don't bring anything extra. Don't bring like 4 hoodies or like 3 pairs of jeans or crazy stuff like that. Try to pack as minimal as possible. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to wrap up the live chat there, just over the 1 hour mark. Huge thanks to everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great time out there snowboarding. And yeah, appreciate you guys checking out the live chat. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to get notified every time we go live here. And yeah, hope you guys are having fun out there snowboarding. Hope everyone's getting lots of snow. And I'll see you guys back here next Thursday. So until then, guys, have fun, be safe, and yeah, bye for now. Bye from Whistler. Take care, everyone.